Deadly rattlesnake bite in Middle Tennessee. I'll tell you about it at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Man, we were just talking earlier. That's a rattler, though.
Yeah.
That's
out on the trail.
Gotta be careful. I mean, it's
gotta be prepared too.
Yeah,
man.
you gotta be prepared. And this time of year, they're everywhere. You just don't see them. That's what they're about. And a lot of times, when you hear know that they want no part of you. They don't want to bite you.
They're literally saying, "Go away."
But a lot of times when they bite, it's because they didn't really hear you or see you. You startled them. They did the only thing that they know to do, which is, they can't flip you off. So they bite you.
And I'm wondering, because that is the thing about a rattler. They will let you know ahead of time. I'm wondering if maybe, this person had their headphones in and
probably,
hiking away, listening to music, just didn't even know.
Or stumbled upon them.
Yeah.
And, that maybe the rattler had his headphones on. You don't know. Because usually they could feel the ground, as far as not hear, but they can feel what's coming. And that person may have said, oh, there's a rock I want to step on. And it was on the rock sunning itself because it'll take the heat from the rock and transfer it to its body. And then, boom. And it sucks. Usually, though, you don't get very rarely do you have rattlesnake deaths as far as bites go. It's very rare. You have even if you don't get help, you still have a very good shot of surviving if you're healthy, a rattler bite. Not going to be comfortable.
No.
But still. It is Hot Take Tuesday. We're doing hot takes here. My hot take of the day was Van Hagar. That's with Sammy Hagar, as he couldn't drive 55, but you know what he could do? Deliver hit after hit with his awesomeness with Van Halen. I thought Van Hagar was better. Bell.
Avatar was crap, and it should not and did not need any sequels.
Yeah. So Bell loves Avatars.
Avatar's garbage.
And by the way, if you guys don't, let me tell you something about Bell. Bell's hate, he has two things he hates in life. He can't stand Robert Reich. I don't know what happened. They hate each other. He's the former labor secretary under Clinton or whatever. They go at it all the time. Or under Obama.
No. I insult him and he ignores me.
Yeah. And he hates Avatar. I don't know what James Cameron did to him. But it must have been awful.
You know what? I'm a huge fan of Titanic, but Avatar was it's boring.
Yeah. It is a technological marvel, but I didn't need 3 hours of it, is what you're saying. All right. And on to Ken, who says?
I say mayonnaise should never be used in tuna fish sandwiches. Only Miracle Whip.
Only
no pickles.
Miracle Whip.
Or celery.
I just got a picture from my buddy who's listening online with his Star-Kissed tuna and Best Foods mayonnaise.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Nope. You said yes, sir. Too late. You can't take it back. No, take it back.
No.
Hey, Brian just texted in. This is very, very true. Avatar was Dances with Wolves with Smurfs.
Yes. That's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of Dances with Wolves with Smurfs. I've heard. It's like he took it, just crossed it out, but blue flying guy. Oh. Van Hagar, though. Bell does not hate everything. All right?
Not everything.
Love ABBA, love Ghost, love Ghostbusters.
You love Ghost? Well, I know he talks about Ghost. He was like, Whoopi Goldberg was great in that. And so was Demi Moore. Different Ghost. Different Ghost right there. No doubt about that. Copperheads. People talking about, wolf. Somebody just said something here that would light up.
Uh-oh.
Football is overrated.
Oh.
Chad Benson did say that. Chad Benson did not say that. Football. So that's crazy. But
or as Kramer would say, that's kooky talk.
That is that is kooky talk. That there's fighting words in the South. I'll tell you that right now. Football. Very excited about football season. I can't wait. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit about D.C. because the Fed, they're taking over, and they're going to reevaluate in 30 days. But I'm going to play something for you that's a perfect example of how people can craft a message based on statistics that are true, but they only tell a portion of the story. And that is the magical chaos that we have in our modern times. Talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Token 997. Yes, Turkmenistan. We were talking about that earlier. Go check that out. Turkmenistan, baby. We're talking about crazy places. I watched a thing the other day. I got sucked into one of those YouTube, I'm traveling around the world things. This guy went to, everything is marble. Like, you go to the airport. It's the biggest airport you've ever seen that looks like it's worth billions of dollars. There's nobody in it.
Didn't the dictator do what? You're only allowed to own a white car?
White car. Oh, and he changed the names of the days. He also changed the name of the national anthem so he could have him and his mom in the national anthem.
Nice.
Yeah, it was.
That's somebody looking out for his people.
He was spectacularly. He was crazy on a level you're like, are you just messing with me? Because I feel like you're messing with me. I feel like this isn't real. Yeah, but the white cars, and if your car was dirty, you can be in trouble for that. But he only wanted white cars. And it doesn't matter because there's nobody there. This couple they have the world's biggest indoor Ferris wheel. And it's gorgeous. They go, there's nobody there. And they said, come back at night. They come back at night, nobody's there. And it's like, imagine going to Broadway or, the Parthenon, something like that. And it's gorgeous. And they show up just to let these people ride the thing. It's so bizarre. It is so
like Six Flags opening for two people.
Opening for two people. I'm going to show you guys, and this is a perfect example of how something is true and false at the same time. Ken and I always joke about the fact you can't find, you have to do so much work to find out what the truth is. You have to dive deep, deep, deep into stuff, and it gets frustrating. And I know that you're not always going to get all the information because you're basing information on, even with the BLS and unemployment, every administration that comes in, they come up with their own way of doing stuff. They're going to pitch you their own way of doing stuff. They're going to tell you their own way of doing stuff. And this is what we do. This, CPI, the CPI, we take out this, and this, core inflation. You're like, yeah, but that, and that, that's expensive. That's what makes life. So this is Chris Murphy. He's if you wonder where the village idiot is and he's gone, this guy. He was pitching the America on, Trump's going in there to take over everything in D.C. He is talking about how dangerous other states are, especially red states.
Let's be clear about what's going on here. Donald Trump says that he is taking control of the Washington, D.C. police force today because violent crime is out of control in the capital city. But you know what are the two cities in America with the highest rates of homicide? It's not Washington, D.C. It's St. Louis, Missouri, and Memphis, Tennessee. Those are cities in two states run by Republican governors.
He's correct. Absolutely. But what did he leave out? They're both blue cities. When you do the top 10, like it's Albuquerque, it's, Detroit, they're Memphis, they're blue cities. So in red states at times, blue cities, this is what you get. You do. So the truth was, yeah, red states, some of them have higher murder per capita, but in blue districts, in blue areas. So what then? Well, then you've got to find out what the reality of it is. That's the problem with the way that everybody breaks stuff down, everything down nowadays. Some stuff is very easy, black and white, right? Like we know that Oakland is a nightmare, crime-wise. We know that they're not even keeping crime statistics at this point in time. They should just have a counter, like the debt. But other things, it's a lot more. It's a lot more nuanced, and there's a lot more to it. And unfortunately, because people go to their world only, and they never ask questions. Being curious is super important. Going and asking a question, going, hey, you know what? I'm not quite sure I believe all of that stuff. Not sure I do. May want to find out if that's true or not. And even now, it's we're at a 30-year low in crime.
This year, crime isn't just down from 2023. It's also down from 2019, before the pandemic. And we're at a 30-year violent crime low.
Some of that is true. Is it as much as they want you to believe? Well, it depends. So, because what ends up happening is they don't report all of the data from maybe the FBI, or they report all of the data from certain areas. Is crime down for the most part? Yeah.
They try to play fast and loose with the numbers, though. You can easily say crime is down, but if you went from 2,000 murders to only 1,800 murders, you still got a problem.
You still got an issue. That's exactly it. And that's the homicide rate. So here's a perfect example. It dropped to, depending on how you're debating, it's 25.5 to 27.5 per 100,000. But that was down, which, again, it's still high, but that was down from almost 46%, or 46 for every 100,000. There's still issues there, but it's also a perception issue. And the perception is, and you guys listening know this, how many times do you see there's issues with airplanes? Right? Issues with airplanes. Right? We see airplanes, we see turbulence, and we see it's 24/7. Why? It's confirmation bias, and now we see it everywhere. You start seeing certain things because we have now access to everything in a way we've never had it before. But yet there's a 500 gazillion flights a day, and there was one or two that had some serious, turbulence, and we think automatically this is what every flight is like. There's no doubt D.C.'s got some areas that aren't very nice. But for the most part, would I fear walking up and down the street? The homeless issue has become a bit of a thing. There's no doubt, that's become a thing across a lot of big cities. It's become a moneymaker too. It has. So watch out when people start whipping out the data and start talking about stuff. Start asking questions. How real is that? Because when I looked at the Chris Murphy thing and I commented, and then somebody attacked me, and then I put something out there, and I'm like, why am I arguing with these people? But when you cherry pick data, you're going to get everything you want out of it. But if somebody holds you to the test, are you going to be able to withstand that? And no, they're not going to withstand that. I don't know what's going to happen in 30 days. I have no idea what's going to happen in 30 days. But who is it that just took it over? Is it the DEA's taking it over now? So I think the DEA.
It's, from what I understand, it's members of the FBI, DEA, alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives. It's several agencies.
Yeah, I think the DEA has just decided that they're the ones that are taking over. Yep, DEA chief is now in charge of the D.C. police force.
Okay.
So there you go. But like you said, all of them are involved. And I don't know what exactly what the National Guard's going to do, because they don't have the power to arrest you. They don't, they can assist in certain things. I think it's just a look, probably that. But last night they were talking about it on CNN, and Felipe Rodriguez, who was a 20-year vet, actually, he and Scott Jennings were talking about this, and he's spot on about the job itself.
I will just point out that the head of the D.C. Police Union, here's a direct quote, "We completely agree with the president that crime in the District of Columbia is out of control and something needs to be done with it." So it sounds like to me, among the rank and file, the president has some support from the cops for doing this today in Washington.
No, we do need the support. We need the support of the public. We need the support of numerous people. No one wants to take this job anymore. Look at Washington, D.C. They're giving a $25,000 bonus, and they still can't get anyone to take the job. Post-Floyd, post-COVID, law enforcement is no longer seen as an honorable way to a profession. And we're suffering, and the public is suffering, so something has to get fixed. I'm not saying what the president is doing 100% correct, but at this point, crime, the way it's going, we have to do something.
And who wants the gig, man? Who wants that gig? Since George Floyd, since all of that stuff, who wants that gig? Here's a gig where you're going to get a nice pension. If you live that long, you're going to be frustrated. You may become an alcoholic. You're probably going to have your marriage and stuff is going to end in divorce. You're going to have PTSD. And oh, by the way, every time you go out, there's going to be 40 people filming you in everything you do, critiquing everything you do. Have fun. You start hearing stories about, we had 250 that graduated from this class and, 25 years ago. How many did you have this time? 2. And the hardest thing to do is to get to retain good officers and officers across the board. Man, if you were going to be an officer, though, wouldn't you want to be an officer in a small town? I want somewhere I could wear jeans, right? Like one of those kind of officers. Jeans and like a khaki shirt. Look like I'm running for office.
And carry one bullet in your breast pocket.
Carry one bullet in my breast pocket.
Or you could wear shorts like the guy on Reno 911.
No, my God. What, did you see? That guy was so spectacular. What was his boot thing? Remember when he bought the boots?
Oh, I know he wore boots.
Yeah, he bought those cowboy boots, and it was like boot scooting. It was just so, yeah. Or you know where else they do that? On the ocean when they ride their bikes. Have you seen those guys? Oh yeah, they have guys on the ocean who ride bikes, like they're cops. They got their helmets
on the beach.
Yep. I mean, you look ridiculous, but then you look over and you're like, it's 72, and I'm looking at the ocean, and there's girls in bikinis. Yeah. This could be worse.
It could be worse, man.
This itself could be worse.
Definitely want the beach patrol.
Yeah. So it's... Yeah.
And in San Diego, too.
Oh, good. How great is that?
I mean, is there crime in San Diego?
There's some... Nah, it's not. There's crime in certain areas of the San Diego County. But, but you know what you really want to be is a California lifeguard.
Ah, yes, sir.
Can you imagine the cops on their bicycles pulling up to a little group of women, and they're like... Got to write you a ticket for indecent exposure.
Oh.
Like, well, we're all covered up, officer. Well, that's why we're writing the ticket.
Yeah, that's a good one. But being a California lifeguard, maybe the greatest thing. Are you ready for this? Just to pull this up, guys, out of your chaos and craziness. The highest paid lifeguard in California. Are you ready for this? What do you think it is?
220.
Ken?
I'll say 221.
Lifeguard Services Chief Fernando Boito earned $523,000. That is crazy.
Son of a biscuit eater.
Yep.
And he probably doesn't even have to patrol the beach. He's just in charge of scheduling.
Now, that was...
I bet you he can afford a one-bedroom apartment in California.
Probably. Here's where it gets crazy. Now, and that was 24. Lifeguards in L.A. County, 134 lifeguards averaged over $500,000.
Man.
Now you want to talk about, you wonder why David Hasselhoff was always smiling? He was making 500 G's a year.
Yeah.
And all he
was making more than that when you count residuals.
Yeah. And all he had to do was ride his bike to work every single day in his dolphin shorts and a tank top with flip-flops to save the day.
Man.
Coming up, the welcome, Matt. Straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 97. It is time for the welcome, Matt, as we wrap it up on this Hot Take Tuesday.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hi, everybody.
Dressed to the nines.
I got a jacket on. I got some dippity do in my hair.
Where's your no sling today?
No sling today. I had it yesterday. I did not have it Friday. I'm tired of it. I don't want it anymore. So I've decided that I'm going to be okay now.
You still healing up all right?
Maybe.
What is Abby, the destroyer, whatever?
Abigail, the abuser?
Yeah, what does she say?
I was supposed to see her today, but I had a pre-existing obligation with Cumulus Media that prevented me from going to my physical therapy. No, they say that at this point I can not wear the sling at home, but I should probably wear it out so that I, don't do too much with my shoulder, which there's no fear of that, but B, more importantly, so that people know not to mess around with it. Which I'm fascinated with the number of people that pat you on the shoulder. You don't really notice. Until your shoulder hurts.
Yeah, I did your bad shoulder today, Brother Murphy. I'm sorry.
Ken Weaver, all over my shoulder today.
Did it hurt?
No, not really. It's okay.
Who's the guy you beef with on the television? What's his name?
Phil Williams.
Yeah, and Phil.
He had a bad shot. I patted him on the shoulder.
And you patted him on the shoulder, so maybe the old Phil a little apology.
Maybe Weaver was giving me my just desserts, my comeuppance. Now, that's from Williams, Murphy.
I'm just saying, kids.
News Channel 5 says hello. How's that shoulder working for you?
Oh, my Lord.
Don't touch me. That's what he said.
Touch me.
That's what he said.
You know what? Now you know.
So I had a beer summit with Freddie O'Connell last night.
Oh, how was that?
It was
just
nice.
you two hanging out?
Mm-hmm. Well, and Alex Apple is, I guess, chief of staff, communications director, whatever.
How was that?
It was nice.
Yeah.
Freddie's a nice enough guy.
Where'd you go?
We went to undisclosed location number 1.
Yeah.
His house?
No, it was Neighbors in Germantown.
So I met him once briefly. Seemed like a nice guy.
Seems like a nice fellow. I mean, I'm going to disagree with him. He does not like me calling him Feckless Freddie. He told me
that's probably something,
And I was like, well, I didn't expect you would.
Yeah, that wasn't.
I mean, no, he's one of the first things he said to me is, "Hey, it's Feckless Freddie," and I was like, "Hey, you like that?" And he goes, "No, I do not." And I said, "Well, I didn't expect you would."
Would you? Do you got another suggestion? I mean, it rolls off the tongue.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of
Frightful Freddie.
I mean,
how about that?
It feels right. It feels right.
It's dude. It's part of the game, man.
Look, we talked about immigration. We talked about. I'll give you the basic. I'll give the basics of what.
Did
we
you
talked
find
about
anything you agreed on? Did you ask him why are you guys in the Democratic Party so
we agreed on
excited
some
about
things.
18th century technology?
I mean, we agreed on some things. I don't think. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what was. I don't know how much of that was off the record. How much was on the record? Huh. I'm just going to assume it was all on the record.
What else you can talk about, seeing as it's maybe yes, maybe no?
A little more on Washington, D.C., I suppose. We'll have a nice discussion about that.
DEA is now in charge of the police force.
DEA?
Yeah, the head of the DEA is now running
Is that designated by old Trumpy?
Yeah.
Trump.
So today, next week, it could be somebody else. It might be a rotating thing. ATF guy gets it 1 week. Mm-hmm. Then we're just going to pull it out of a hat. Marco's got it 1 week.
That pesky Section 740 of the Home Rule Law gives the president the prerogative. So
30 days, and then they'll
and then
decide.
the Congress has got to figure it out, right? By 30 days. So we'll do that. What else am I? What else? Hold on a second.
Hold on here. We can say Matt. The welcome Matt doesn't know what he's talking about.
Adam Schiff. We're gonna that's fun.
The dip Schiff.
We'll talk about Adam. I'll get on Adam Schiff.
Not a long ball hitter.
He's a pencil neck. That Adam. Pencil neck geek.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's got those beady eyes.
Well, we'll talk about that. And then I missed this story out of Williamson County. I'm going to kind of go over it again. The story involving the lawsuit with the kids and the thing and the guy and the girls. And we'll do all of that.
Right. There you go. Straight ahead. Yeah. The welcome Matt. That is it. Now it's just the Matt. You guys have a good one. We'll do it again tomorrow.